My friends, greatness is never born in a single leap. It is forged in the quiet, consistent steps we take each day. It is not the grand events that shape your destiny, but the tiny habits you practice in silence when no one is watching. If you seek a life of meaning, abundance, and joy, commit to these 10 habits for the remainder of your life, for they will transform not only your days, but your very soul. Every morning, before you even step out of bed, for the remainder of life, take a brief moment to direct your thoughts toward the life you want to create. This is not about waking up and simply reacting to the world. For the remainder of it is about deciding who you will be that day. When you give your mind a clear instruction, it begins to search for ways to fulfill that vision. For the remainder of your life, thoughts are like seeds planted at the dawn of the day, and the intentions you set become the foundation upon which every action rests. For the most people allow their mornings to slip into chaos, reaching for distractions or worrying about what might go wrong. But those who command their mornings shape their entire destiny. The first few minutes of your day hold immense power because they decide whether you live with purpose or drift aimlessly. If you begin with clarity, your energy follows. If you begin with confusion, the day will mirror it. Choosing your direction early is the simplest and most profound step toward mastery over your own life. This practice does not require hours of meditation or complex routines. It requires stillness and honesty. Ask yourself, who do I want to be today? What impact do I wish to leave by nightfall? The answers to these questions set the tone for every conversation, every decision, and every challenge that lies ahead. You will notice that even small choices, how you speak, how you act, how you respond to difficulties, begin to align with that morning decision. Over time, this habit rewires the way you see the world. You stop waiting for circumstances to dictate your mood or your actions because you've already chosen your course. This simple morning ritual becomes a silent declaration to yourself, I am in charge of my life. It nurtures confidence, fuels determination, and brings a sense of calm even when the day grows hectic. You become proactive instead of reactive, and that alone changes everything. The greatest transformations in life rarely come from monumental leaps. They come from the quiet decisions repeated daily. Begin your day with intention for the remainder of your life, and you will begin to notice opportunities appearing where before there were only obstacles. Each morning you choose who you will be. You step closer to the life you've always envisioned. The habit may feel small, but it creates a ripple that touches every hour of your day, every dream you pursue, and ultimately the person you become. For the remainder of your life, the gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful forces you can invite into your life. When you take a moment each day to acknowledge the blessings you already have, something remarkable happens inside you. The weight of dissatisfaction begins to lift, and you start noticing the abundance that has always surrounded you. Instead of focusing on what is missing, your attention shifts toward what is present, and this single shift changes the way you experience everything. Many people chase happiness for believing it lies somewhere in the future, waiting to be unlocked by success, wealth, or recognition. Yet happiness is often found in the smallest details. The people you love, the opportunities you've been given, the simple fact that you have another day to create and grow. Gratitude transforms the ordinary into something extraordinary. The air you breathe, for the remainder of life, the food on your table, the roof over your head. These are miracles that many forget to celebrate when you learn to appreciate them. Your life feels fuller without anything external needing to change. Practicing gratitude also trains your mind to look for the good, even in difficult times. For the remainder of life, challenges will always come, but gratitude helps you see lessons instead of burdens, growth instead of loss. It does not erase pain from the end of your life, but it softens by revealing the hidden gifts that adversity often carries. A grateful mind is resilient. It refuses to dwell on scarcity because it knows abundance is always present in some form, even if it takes effort to see it. This habit doesn't require dramatic effort. For the remainder of your life, it can be as simple as writing down things you're thankful for each night or pausing during the day to silently acknowledge what's going well. Over time, for this simple act rewires your thinking. You begin to expect good things, and as your outlook changes, your actions follow. You treat others with more kindness. For the remainder of your life, you face challenges with more patience, and you attract people and opportunities that mirror your positive energy. For the true remainder of your life, the true magic of gratitude is how it multiplies what you already have. When you focus on the blessings in your life, you create a sense of peace and contentment that no material achievement alone can provide. Gratitude makes every step of your journey meaningful, even before you reach your destination. It reminds you that happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you practice every single day. For the remainder of your life, the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Every word you speak to yourself, every book you read of your life, every piece of information you consume quietly builds the framework for your future. Just as you would never allow poison into your body, for the remainder of life, learn to guard your mind against negativity and destructive influences. What you allow to enter will eventually become what you express, and over time, it shapes your character, your decisions, and your destiny. Many underestimate the power of the messages they absorb daily. The music playing in the background, the conversations you entertain, the voices you follow. All of these leave subtle imprints on your subconscious mind. If those imprints are filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, for they silently hold you back from your greatest potential. But if they are filled with encouragement, faith, and possibility, they propel you toward the life you desire. The mind is like a garden. What you water will grow, and what you neglect will wither. This is why it is vital to deliberately feed your mind with uplifting and empowering ideas. Surround yourself with books, teachings, and people who expand your vision rather than shrink it. Replace self-criticism with affirmations that remind you of your worth and potential. Speak words of life over your own dreams, because the dialogue you hold with yourself is the foundation upon which you build every goal. For the remainder of your life, when your inner voice becomes an ally rather than an enemy, you begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. For the rest of your life, guarding your thoughts is not about ignoring reality or pretending challenges do not exist. It is about training yourself to respond with strength rather than surrender. For life will always present difficulties, but a mind conditioned for growth seeks solutions instead of excuses. Over time, this mental discipline creates resilience. You stop being shaken by every setback and instead use adversity as fuel for progress. What was once a challenge becomes a chance to prove your inner strength. For the remainder of your life is your greatest asset, and nurturing it is the surest way to transform your life. When you intentionally choose what you consume and what you repeat to yourself, you create an internal environment that naturally produces confidence and action. As your thoughts improve, your choices improve, and so do your results. For the remainder of life, it all begins within, with a simple yet powerful decision to feed your mind what it truly needs to thrive. For the discipline is often imagined as something you summon in moments of great challenge, but in reality, it is built quietly through the smallest daily decisions. For the remainder of your life, it is born in the choice to rise when the alarm rings, to finish the task you promised yourself you would complete, to do what is necessary even when no one is watching. For the remainder of your life, these small victories, repeated over and over, create an inner strength that prepares you for the larger test life will inevitably present. It is not the grand gestures, but the quiet consistency that shapes your character. The power of self-discipline lies in its ability to free you, not restrict you. Many believe discipline is a form of limitation, but it is actually the pathway to freedom. When you master your impulses and control your actions, you no longer become a prisoner to procrastination, excuses, or fleeting moods. You gain the ability to act according to your goals rather than your emotions. This shift may seem subtle, but it is the difference between living by chance and living by design. Developing discipline is rarely dramatic. It is often boring, repetitive, for the remainder and unseen by others, yet this is what makes it so transformative. Each small act of discipline is like laying a single brick. Over time, for the remainder of your life, those bricks form a foundation strong enough to hold the weight of your dreams. Waking up early, saving a small amount of money, dedicating 15 minutes to study each day. These choices seem insignificant in the moment, but their impact compounds over years into extraordinary results. Discipline also teaches you to trust yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that your word matters. This builds self-respect and quiet confidence. The opposite is equally true. When you break promises to yourself, you begin to doubt your own ability to follow through. True transformation begins when you treat your own commitments with the same seriousness you extend to others. Ultimately, discipline is the silent architect of greatness. For the remainder of your life, it doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention, but it steadily shapes you into someone capable of achieving what once felt impossible. Life will test you with larger battles, but when you have mastered the smaller ones, those tests no longer seem insurmountable. Day by day, choice by choice, discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. For the remainder begins with the smallest steps you take today. For the remainder of your life, your mind are deeply connected, and one cannot thrive without the other. A weary body clouds the thoughts, dulls creativity, and makes even the simplest tasks feel overwhelming. When you neglect your physical health, your energy fades, and with it, your motivation to pursue the life you want for the remainder of your life. But when you nurture your body, you create a foundation of strength and clarity that supports every dream and goal you carry within you. Caring for your health does not always require massive changes. It begins with small, deliberate actions repeated consistently. Drinking enough water throughout the day, taking a brief walk to stretch your legs, choosing whole foods that nourish rather than drain you. These simple choices slowly build vitality. Over time, they become habits that do not just improve your physical well-being, but also elevate your mental and emotional state. A clear, energized body naturally produces a clear, for the remainder of life, energized mind. Movement is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself, whether it is an intense workout or gentle stretching. For the remainder of physical activity awakens your body and strengthens your resilience. It reminds you that you are capable of more than you think, and that progress, even if slow, is still progress. Along with movement, rest plays an equally important role. True restoration happens when you honor your need for sleep and allow your body the time it needs to repair and recharge. For your health is also shaped by the choices you make when no one is watching. The decision to skip a meal or to indulge in unhealthy habits may feel harmless in the moment, but over time, they accumulate. The same is true for positive actions. A single glass of water or a single stretch may seem small, but when done daily, they build momentum. Small steps for the remainder of your life, consistently taken, are far more powerful than occasional bursts of effort followed by neglect. A strong body supports a strong spirit, and when you treat your health as a priority, every other area of life benefits. You think more clearly, act more decisively, and handle stress with greater ease. This is not about perfection, it is about respect for yourself, for the remainder of your time and your potential. When you care for your body, you are making a silent promise to yourself that you are worthy of energy, vitality, for the remainder of life and the chance to fully experience the life you are working to create. Visualization is not just about wishful thinking, it is about programming your mind to align with the life you desire. When you take time each day to close your eyes and see the person you want to become, something powerful happens inside you. Your brain begins to treat that image as reality, and it starts guiding your thoughts and actions to make it happen. The clearer you can see it, the stronger the pull toward it becomes. You are not just imagining a dream, you are rehearsing your future. This practice works because the mind responds to images and emotions more than words alone. When you picture yourself living your desired life, feel the emotions that come with it, the pride, the joy, the peace. These feelings act as fuel, creating motivation that pushes you forward even on difficult days. The more often you do this, the more natural it becomes to take actions that match that vision because you have already seen yourself succeed in your mind. Many people drift through life reacting to circumstances rather than creating them. Visualization flips that pattern. Instead of waiting for life to give you direction, you give yourself direction first. By holding a clear image of where you want to go, you train your subconscious to notice opportunities that others overlook. Suddenly, the right people, ideas, and paths begin to appear, not by magic, but because your mind is now searching for them. This habit does not require hours of effort. Even a few quiet minutes can make a difference. Find a space where you won't be interrupted, close your eyes, and picture the details of your ideal life. See yourself living it, the environment, the people around you, the way you carry yourself. The more specific you are, the more powerful the effect. Over time, this practice becomes a daily reminder of why you're working, a compass that keeps you moving toward what matters most. Visualization is the bridge between belief and action. When you can see your future clearly, you begin to believe it is possible. And when you believe it is possible, you act differently. That shift in behavior, repeated day after day, is what transforms dreams into reality. It is not just about hoping, it is about creating a mental blueprint so strong that your life naturally begins to take shape around it. Committing to lifelong learning is one of the most transformative decisions you can make for yourself. The moment you stop seeking new knowledge, you stop growing, and life begins to feel stagnant. Growth is not something that ends with school or a single achievement. It is an ongoing journey that keeps you evolving into a wiser, more capable version of yourself. The world is constantly changing, and those who remain curious and open to learning will always find new ways to adapt and thrive. Learning does not only come from books, though books are powerful gateways to new worlds and ideas. It also comes from experiences, conversations, and observation. Every challenge you face and every person you meet carries a lesson if you are willing to see it. By adopting the mindset of a student, you turn even difficulties into opportunities to grow. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What is this teaching me?" That shift in perspective alone can transform how you handle life's challenges. Curiosity is the fuel that keeps this habit alive. When you develop a hunger for understanding, you find joy in exploring unfamiliar topics, skills, and perspectives. This does more than add to your knowledge. It expands the way you see the world. Suddenly, opportunities appear where before there were only limitations. You begin to connect ideas across different areas of life, creating solutions and insights that others overlook. This habit also keeps you humble. The more you learn, the more you realize how much there is still to discover. Humility is not weakness, it is a sign of wisdom. It allows you to listen more, question more, and constantly improve. While others may cling to what they already know, you remain open to becoming more than you were yesterday. This openness not only enhances your growth, but also draws people and opportunities toward you because humility and wisdom are magnetic traits. Over time, lifelong learning becomes less of a practice and more of a way of living. You wake up eager to explore something new, knowing that each insight adds to the person you are becoming. Knowledge, when applied, transforms into power, not the power to control others, but the power to shape your own destiny. This constant evolution ensures that no matter where life takes you, you will always have the tools and wisdom to rise higher. Words carry power greater than most people realize. They can build bridges or burn them, heal wounds or deepen them, spark hope or extinguish it entirely. Every phrase you speak to others, and more importantly to yourself, plants seeds that eventually grow into beliefs. If you constantly speak doubt and criticism, you reinforce limitations. But when you choose words of encouragement and possibility, you shape a mindset that fuels growth and resilience. The way you speak to yourself is often the foundation of your actions. Many people silently tear themselves down without even noticing it, repeating thoughts of failure or inadequacy until they believe them. Changing this inner dialogue is not about ignoring flaws, but about replacing destructive words with constructive ones. When you tell yourself, "I can figure this out," or "I am capable," you are not denying challenges, you are reminding yourself of your ability to face them. Over time, these affirmations become self-fulfilling. Speaking encouragement to others is equally transformative. A single kind word at the right moment can change someone's entire outlook. You never truly know the battles others are fighting, and sometimes your voice may be the only positive one they hear all day. When you encourage others, you not only lift them, but also reinforce positivity within yourself. The habit of spreading hope creates an environment where everyone grows stronger together. This practice also strengthens relationships. People naturally gravitate toward those who uplift rather than criticize. By choosing words that inspire rather than tear down, you create trust and connection. These relationships become a source of support during hard times and a celebration during good ones. Encouragement costs nothing, yet its return is immeasurable. It multiplies in ways you may never fully see. When you commit to using your words intentionally, life begins to feel lighter, both for you and those around you. Challenges still come, but with a voice that consistently speaks hope and strength, they feel less overwhelming. You begin to see yourself not just as someone enduring life, but as someone actively shaping it, moment by moment, sentence by sentence. And in that shift, you discover the quiet power that was always within you. The ability to transform lives, starting with your own, through the words you choose every day. Reflection is one of the simplest yet most overlooked habits that can change your life. At the end of each day, taking just a few moments to pause and review what happened allows you to turn experiences into wisdom. Most people rush from one day to the next, carrying the same mistakes and missing the lessons hidden in their routines. But when you slow down to examine your actions, your choices, and your thoughts, you give yourself the gift of understanding. Through reflection, you begin to see patterns in your behavior, the habits that serve you and the ones that hold you back. You notice how certain decisions led to progress and how others caused unnecessary struggle. This awareness is powerful because you cannot improve what you do not acknowledge. Reflection transforms failures into teachers and victories into reminders of what works. It keeps you honest with yourself without judgment, only with the intent to grow. This practice also creates a sense of closure. Instead of carrying the weight of the day into tomorrow, you release what no longer serves you. The mistakes are learned from, the small wins are celebrated, and your mind finds peace in knowing tomorrow is a fresh start. This calm at night leads to deeper rest, and with better rest comes clearer thinking and stronger focus the next day. Reflection doesn't have to be complicated. A notebook by your bedside or even a quiet mental review before sleep is enough. Ask yourself questions like, what did I learn today? What could I do better tomorrow? What am I proud of? These small questions open doors to big insights, and over time, they guide you toward becoming a more intentional version of yourself. When practiced consistently, reflection becomes a compass for your growth. Each day adds a new layer of wisdom, and as those layers build, you find yourself making decisions with greater clarity and confidence. Life becomes less about blindly reacting and more about consciously directing your path. With every night you take time to look inward, you prepare yourself to wake up stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the person you are striving to become.